Make me a new one.
All right.
Oh no, whatever shall I do?
You're looking very... Hello, all of our darklings.
Hello, crafters. Thank you.
Maybe if I get lucky, I'll stop doing that.
Nope, not gonna happen. It's my thing.
Since when?
About a year now.
I know, it's obnoxious as
I love it. It's Buffy. Hello. Malal. Malal. Oh, dark gods. Artie, what's up, my buddy?
Hey, Artie. Hold on, just answering a couple of questions.
So, welcome to the first stream of September 2020. Taco. So, kind of a quiet week for 40K.
York!
That, my friend, and I got the.
I'm gonna go close the front door.
Thank you.
I'm a little bit of a freak out. Right.
All right. So, we said hello to Zane.
Yeah, the dog is not becoming a taco.
Connor's here. Taylor's here. Hey, I got the address. I got the tracking number. Thank you so much. Meeks is here. Meeks, I got your stuff. She got your stuff. We got your stuff. We are very excited. Thank you much, sir. Phoenix looks like it's going to be multitasking because she's putting
So friggin' spicier than Baby Ray's. I think that's why. Oh, that's right, you do.
Yeah. I'm all that. We are live.
And you froze.
It's very cool. Very appreciative of you, sir. So
YouTube streams aren't happy.
what? Why not?
Yes, I do appreciate it very much, Mr. Meeks. I am looking forward to playing with that with some of my upcoming stuff. Especially the pink one.
And if you like them, maybe we should give you a green one. Yeah.
Shiny green.
So let's see here. 40K has been pretty quiet this week. Other stuff going on. So let's start off with our typical what's on the bench.
Well, mine's significantly shorter than anybody else's. Play child, everybody.
Yeah, the new widescreen camera can see you as soon as you walk out the door.
Yeah.
Much no tacos.
Okay, so for my thing is we did talk a lot last week about how I was going to be doing an art show. However, I found out some of the restrictions and requirements for it, and I do not have the time to be able to.
Or the money that they want. Good Lord.
Well, I don't have to do the tent and the chairs and that. I just don't have them. So, we have,
Yes. New kitty.
This is Tyga. Tyga was found under the fender of our neighbor's car, where she had climbed up under there and traveled across the city. So we don't know where she's from. She's probably about 6, maybe 7 weeks old.
8 at most.
Yeah, she's very tiny, as you can see.
She is weaned, but only just.
And she does know how to use a litter box, so that's always good. She's a curious little thing. This is actually Playchild's cat. No,
Yeah.
When I want a kitten fix, I come and I claim her, and then I give her back when I'm done.
And I got tortillas, so we're all good.
You can eat the rabbit before you eat this. El gato. I see about 6 people being petted right now.
No, there's about 6 tacos being petted right now.
Hells no. Trust me,
El
honey.
gato taco!
Trust me, honey. There ain't enough meat on this kitten for that. My rabbit is bigger than this thing is.
Your
Rabbit has
rabbit's head is bigger than that thing is.
the rabbit has one done with those that are kittens. Your other cats.
So,
He is bound.
no. You are down and around in here yet. So,
I'm just enjoying it.
no, I'm trying to keep her from jumping on the fucking ground.
All right.
Anyway, so as a decision, because of finances and limited, you have to have like 30 pieces in order to be in this. I'd be lucky if I could get 20, maybe 15. 15 actually would be, I might have been able to do 15 by the end of the month.
Yeah.
So we made the decision that instead we are going to wait a year. Okay, take your little,
Take your child.
yes.
Oh,
And she's got, she's small enough that
Kitten
she's got the
claws.
little razor kitten claws.
that cut their skin like butter.
Yeah.
And there she goes. Remember, we have an open vent in there.
Wow.
She's exploring the house now, apparently. This is the first time she's
That's
ever. Jam jar!
Jam
Freaked out
jar.
about You're fine with Artemis before.
So with that being said, I do have a couple that are really going to be.
Apollo!
Okay. She's going to have to go back.
Yeah.
To safety.
Apollo.
Apollo wants to love the kitten very, very much, and the kitten does not love
He
Apollo.
jumped at her.
Hi, Senator. So with that being said, I do have some pictures that may or may not be sent to some people as thank yous or handed out in giveaways. We haven't decided yet. And on that note, so because that is going on, I did finally get the canvas for the large image that I'm to be doing. It's actually sitting in the bedroom. We need to clean off that table because my actual easel is too small to handle.
Which is why the tables move back the way it is, and we're slowly clearing things out. Actually, spending some time reorganizing the next couple days.
Yes.
To make space.
And then
Seeing
I'll
as that we're
work
not
on
having
it.
any games right now here, I figure we can move the table against the bookshelves.
And then I can work on it. Started putting together my salamanders. I've got one of my lovely jumpers.
No fear. That's Inceptor.
So I'm just trying to go through and just put them all together. That way I don't have to worry about them later. And then I can just start
I'm
painting.
gonna try my method of build, prime, and then paint one unit at a time. See if that helps.
Yeah, instead of build the unit, paint the unit, build the unit, paint the unit, build the unit, paint the unit. Let's see what happens. But other than that, working quite a bit. Went into work today, as a matter of fact.
Really early.
I had to be there at 5 a.m. This was my day off. It was not anymore. And I got a thank you from the store manager because we have a corporate visit coming tomorrow. there is a new regional VP in charge of the framing departments for Region 6. And he's seeing us first.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know the reasons
Dun, dun,
why.
dun.
I am not sharing the reasons why. So that is not
Dun,
for
dun,
this.
dun.
So I came in and worked for 4 hours after working 4 hours last night, also to get us somewhat ready for this man's visit. I really, really hope he is gone by 4:30 by the time I get in tomorrow, because I just want to get into production. I don't want to actually have to spend the rest of my shift cleaning. I did the lion's share. I'm not going to be moving much today because I did hurt my back. So hopefully, yeah, good visit.
That's what she does.
Yeah, I took a bunch of oversized boxes that were anywhere between 6 to 8 feet long and 3.5 to 4 feet wide, and cut them down because those used to house acrylic. Because we can only do panes of glass up to, I think it's like 36 inches. Anything over that has to be acrylic. We can't go that big. So those were acrylic boxes that have been accumulated over the last year and a half. I've this November all been there for a year, so some of these were there before I got there. Managed to rearrange all that, got that all cleaned up. Was pretty happy about that. Dusted.
You get these scrap acrylic.
We don't do scrap. Dang. Wrong kind of acrylic too.
Not really.
Yeah, this is thin. Yes, acrylic that breaks and scratches easy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and I have started planning Christmas presents out because I am broke.
That person.
Oh no, I start planning Christmas presents like back in February. I don't actively start doing anything until around August or September. And so that is the story of what Lady D has on the bench. And now I'm going to eat my low carb meal as I have
What's
to.
going to happen for Halloween?
Oh yeah, and I might be making. Oh, that's the other thing that's going to be coming onto the bench too, is that we're going to be making me some life masks, because as many of you know who saw our game between his Death Guard and Hydrocari, I have a bit of a problem controlling myself. So I'm going to make myself one of 3 masks. One's a Drukari, one is an Eldar, and one is a Harlequin mask. May do something that's just off demonic. I don't know. Just a series of masks that I'm going to start wearing when we do battle reports to help me better control my reactions.
We're going to this further.
No, I don't have enough money to put in a spare barrel. So that being said, I'll probably also have to get a mic that I can, put inside or something so you guys can actually hear.
Well, actually, that's the thing. One of the next things we want to get is to get a Blue Yeti, which is a really good mic.
No,
No,
I'm thinking about getting
it's
a headset. That way they can hear me while I'm walking around.
We'll see.
Well, it can't be Bluetooth.
Basically, we'll start off, it's all happy, and then I take it off and I start pulling a hexadecimal from Reboot.
Ah,
So,
all right. So I have on the bench. All right. So as many of you that follow our Instagram may have seen, I just finished up a 10-man squad and a 5-man squad of Grey Hunters, along with a couple of Wolf Guard to go with them when I want to add a Wolf Guard leader to the squad, or if I just want to group up a group of 5 Wolf Guard. I've got various different builds for them, just because, I like Wolf Guard. And they're a good way to use extra model pieces up. I mean, they're all made from basically from extra bits. But I've got all 17 of those done. They're now in the box, and I have now started on Indomitus.
Is it Indominus or Indomitus?
Indomitus. So,
Bright Eyes is very curious about Big Guy.
ugh,
He's been avoiding him.
the entirety of my Indomitus,
No, that's my side, darling.
the entirety of my Indomitus has its Space Wolf Gray on, and I'm now working up on my Assault Intercessors. So they'll be done soon. They have a few pieces of basically hair, metallics. They have hair and metallic stuff to do. And then, and leather. And then, yeah, hair, metallics, and leather. And then we do shading. And then we put on our transfers, and they're done. So these 10 are almost done. And then once those are done, then the next unit to work on is the books. And I'm just going to hit them up one unit at a time. I also am working on a group of 3. Like my first squad is all Thunderhammers. My second squad, I'll wait till it says not. My first squad is all Thunderhammers. My second squad is all Power Fists. So I'll get to them eventually too.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Okay.
But that's basically where Indomitus is at. I also am working on a second Fat Boy. All right, Meeks, be well, be safe.
Ooh, Reno. That was a good place. Not. Drive safe.
Working on my second Fat Boy for my wolves. This one going to have a magnetized arm. As you can see, the one arm's unattached. So I'll be able to swap between the Gatling cannon and the plasma gun. His base is already done. That'll be the big thing for a lot of these guys. Because they're all kind of really balanced on their bases, with the pegs, they're not glued into these bases, but so when they're done, they're going to get my typical frost treatment, and then that'll glue them in. So these guys will actually be on their regular bases they came with. Yeah, wolves are a high priority right now, and as soon as I'm kind of done with them, I'm working on some more Death Guard. I just got, when I got the No Fear box, we gave Lady D the Space Marine half of the No Fear box, and then Mr. Meeks, who has just left us, we've been doing some back and forth trades and whatnot. I sent him some stuff, and I got a Death Guard half of Dark Imperium. So more Death Guard. I'm so happy. So happy.
You really need
Oh, I need more Death Guard. I am going to be playing the heck out of my wolves, but I'm also going to be playing the heck out of my Death Guard. I think this expansion for 9th edition, I think really I'm going to be splitting my time between Death Guard, Space Wolves, and my new army, Custodes. So, and the funny thing is for my Custodes, with everything I've got for them already, and the stuff I've got built and ready for them, and the stuff I've got that I need to just build and paint. Yes, I do. I will get to them eventually, maybe.
No, we are not doing a group challenge of how much you can paint in a month because we all know who's going to win that one. Well, not really. It's not really a win, is it? Because it's a personal challenge. I want to do my, I would love us to do the September challenge. Our Justice League colors.
I'm thinking that might be not a bad idea. I think for September to do our Justice League Marine. I think that's not a bad idea. Today is the 1st. We can throw that challenge out now. So, boom! Challenged! So for September, we will be throwing a challenge out there.
We'll put up a video probably, if not tomorrow night, it'll probably be up by Friday.
Yeah, I got to refilm my freaking basing video. Crashed in the middle of putting things together and wiped out all my freaking footage. So my lovely Flight of the Phoenix, as part of the package, part of the video I was putting together, I had a drawing where I drew out the name. Flight of the Phoenix won the quarterly challenge, and what they were getting was a set of 10 32 millimeter desert bases.
I thought we were going to do the painting.
No, I was doing 10 32 millimeter sand bases and a 60 millimeter sand base. Well, I'm going to be ending up with 15 because I got to redo bases, and I'm going to do them in a pack of 5. So you're going to get 15 desert sand bases. Hope you can use them.
So Frost and Fist say, why don't we do Justice League for September, something Halloween themed for October, and then November we can do the package painting. It's the end of the year.
Oh no, November already has.
Oh, that's No Bolter November.
No Bolter November.
So then I guess December, no, because people are going to be busy for December.
Right. We've had an all-year painting challenge, so there's been an all-year painting.
Canvases count as a painting challenge?
No, not unless they were 40K themed paintings.
Well, what are the blue roses? Go to the beach. That says beach, right?
Yes. Okay. Well, who knows? If she doesn't want to use it for that, and say further down the line, if she gets in the Age of Sigmar, she decides to do those steampunk dwarves, she could throw them on these desert bases. But I mean, this is
Señoritas and margaritas.
These are for her, as she did win it. So yeah, because November is No Bolter November. It is specifically not 40K miniatures for November.
So I guess we may actually see me finish my Age of Sigmar.
Either that, or you get a break into your Corvus Cabal.
That's good.
You can paint them for November.
Yeah. Nothing from 40K.
Yeah, no bolters.
Oh, Age of Sigmar.
Excuse me. Apparently I startled somebody.
Yeah. So yeah, November is No Bolter November. October, doing something Halloween themed for October, something spooky. I actually want to get with Mythos and Freak about that and have us co-sponsor or collaborate some sort of Halloween challenge, and maybe talk to a couple of these other channels that we're in a couple other Discords with, because I know there's at least one Halloween challenge going on.
No Bolter November. You said no bolters. You never said nothing about modern weaponry.
Okay.
Because technically that means I could do my flamers. non-bolter.
No Bolter November is no 40K. Something else. If you want to do bolt action, go right ahead. If you want to do Age of Sigmar, go right ahead. I don't care if you want to do some other sci-fi line that's not 40K. The idea of no bolt world and stretch your hobby legs and do something different.
Or we can do that, the 40K a day challenge. We could do that January for January. New Year.
You know, the idea of using September to do packaging and you know, to do a couple single figure challenges, not a bad thing. You know, I don't think that's really a bad thing. I think you could do, you know, both a superhero, since we're doing.
Why don't we do the Justice League next month? Because it's very.
We could do, yeah. Well,
here's a suggestion.
No, it doesn't, Phoenix. That's the whole idea. It's the whole idea is to get. See, here's the thing: you're not going to have a problem with it because you already paint like fantasy figures and D&D figure stuff like that. Yeah, side-by-side challenges, exactly. We can do the, you know, that way everybody has to paint 2 figures. Yeah, she didn't want to move.
No, she was falling asleep.
So yeah, the whole idea of no Bolter November is no 40K for a month. So, you know, paint something else, stretch your legs, paint something different, paint some Age of Sigmar, paint some Marvel Crisis Protocol, paint Bolt Action. Specifically for Mythos, what if someone wants to do Horus Heresy? I will punch you in the face, Artie, the next time I see you. I will just right in the kisser. Mm-hmm. Actually, for Mythos, he had a box game that he got with Freak that had like some werewolf dudes in it that he has been like he's had in the box and hasn't done anything with, as far as I know. You could keep those and paint them in no Bolter November. Look at that. And then you have a project specifically for November. Yeah, exactly. It's not a matter of it not being sci-fi. It's a matter of it being something out of the 40K aesthetic. So, you know, not 30K, not 40K. Age of Sigmar is fine because that is a very different aesthetic. You know, Bolt Action, Arcturus, War of Kings. You are not going to do 30K. You know what? Mr. Tick has been talking about 30K forever. I'm going to use my Custodes for 30K because I'm not painting a 30K army that I'm only going to be able to use for 30K because he's the only person that runs it and he barely wants to play. So, yeah, I'll use my Custodes.
I thought you wanted to do the world eaters. Word bearers.
Word bearers. Yeah, I did. I kind of wanted to do word bearer. I kind of want to just do word bearers for straight up chaos. Just you know. I mean, word bearers are just awesome.
So.
Oh, so you're doing chaos side because that'd be fun.
All right. So let's back up a little bit. What is September's challenge now?
We're doing the side-by-side of the 40K a day challenge. So 2 figures this month. One painting a Marine up as a Justice League member, and 2, painting up a Space Marine as using the color palette from a product of your choice. But you have to show the product next to Marine to show the product that you are basing it off of.
Okay. So, how about this? Nethos, you and Freak, Friday, the 40K a day challenge goes up. Make sure that you are working side by side with us. Link our video with it, and we'll do one for the Justice League. That way it is a group collaboration all together.
Yeah.
You get her all day. Why are you keeping her? The bad Dragon Marines, huh?
I wanted. You still
practice.
specifically for them?
December, I think, is.
You're sure?
Yeah, she is. I think December is going to be just.
And Christmas time.
We're going to be busy.
Yeah, December is normally super busy. I mean, if you remember right, last year when I put forth my challenge, I started at the beginning of December and let it go until the end of January because that is just a crazy time of the year.
And for Children's Successor chapter. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Seeing as you got Commodore on there first,
I'm
man.
not working. Okay. I was trying to see if I was going to have to say, sorry, I bow out or not. They changed our hours at work now. So now we're closing at 8. So I don't get home until after 8:30 now. So, yeah.
But she now has things set up so she doesn't have to work Tuesday nights at all anymore.
Yes.
So we will not have her coming in just as we're starting up the show.
Yes.
So just a quick shout out. You guys didn't, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but the camera angle is a little bit wider. We have a new camera thanks to our patrons. It is a higher quality camera. It gives us a better picture, better sound, wide view. It's a live streaming camera. It's not going to change our shots for when we're doing filming directly, but it'll make our live streams look and sound a lot nicer. The next thing on the task for our patron gifts, the next thing we're going to be doing is I want to get a Blue Yeti microphone. Warmut, your dollars have helped. The people that have given, the dollars help. You know, well, hello.
We also had a slightly separate setup on Saturday when we did the UK stream. So if people could please put in the comments below which of the setups they preferred more for us just chatting away. Please let us know because we are debating between whether or not we're going to split between the two areas.
Because we like the other room. It's a little more cozy.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, this has all our 40K stuff, so it's easier to show what's on the bench. All right, so as it's on the bench,
Moving on
to
news in
40K. Not much news in 40K. Lots of news in others, but not much in 40K. And some of the news is actually really, really cool. Since we were talking about a little today, we're going to start off with talking about 30K.
Oh, is that
because the Lion is finally 30K, and I don't play Archangels, although I do have access to a couple squads of them. I've seen his model. It is cool enough that I would get that model. I mean, that is a really, really beautiful sculpt.
I would like
No.
to point out that I still want to get all of the Primarchs.
I know. But at $100 a piece, that's not an easy one to get.
Well, once we get the hit the lotto.
Yeah. And if we ever do start getting them, I mean, the first one I'm getting is Ross.
You're gonna have to get 2 of those.
He's awesome. Yeah, I want to get the Russ figure. But I mean, yeah, finally Lionel Johnson's finally coming out. There's also some new Terminators coming out, some for the Dark Angels and some for the Night Lords, who are shown on
let's see. What is it?
Are there any rumors? Yeah, we'll go. Let's table. Honestly, let's start off with a quick table note here. Warmont, honestly, if you're not going to have multiple tables, if you're not going to build multiple tables, you're not going to have multiple tables, and you know you want to be able to host big games, you might as well just start off with a 4 foot by 6 foot table right off the bat. They're not that big. They're not that bad. We have a video on how we made ours. We made it for $75 or less.
Yep. Not including the medical bills when I started dropping crap on my feet.
Yes, and we didn't do it very fancy. We could have done it fancier, but we did a very workable one. So it stores all of our stuff underneath it. It's great for storage, and it's got panel storage on the other side. So 4 by 6 is it's a good size. And considering, keep in mind also, when you're playing 40K, a 2,000 point battle, you'll have a little bit of room on the side, like a foot on one side, that you can stick your units that are in hyperspace and a dice box for rolling dice. Ends up being really handy having 1 foot on the side here to play. I found it out with the battle I had with Jack. So, yeah, it's a good way to go. If you had the space for 2 4x4s, that would work. The big problem with that is, I mean, again, you've got to talk about space. If I had my stuff in the basement and I had access like to the rec, like a rec room in a basement or something, where you had a room big enough, a lot of people don't realize 8 feet long is actually pretty big. It's a lot bigger than you think it is. It takes up a lot of space in a room. If you got a big rec room, a pair of 4x4s, one that you can fold down, works, but a 4x6 is only a little bigger than your standard dining room table, so you can use it for multiple things.
Unless you make it like us when we made ours tall.
Yeah, but we want to get stools to go around it. So anyhow, all right, and we'll talk about rumors after we talk about the actual news.
Other than that one Lord dude coming out.
Yeah. We can put it in the garage, but that's where you put the car. These people convert their garages to their rec rooms. I'm like, well, where do you put your car then?
The driveway.
Not in Wisconsin.
People go and put those coverings.
Yeah. All right, so 30K is getting the line and some new Terminators, some new Light Lords. God, if I played 30K seriously, I'd be all over this. There's just some really cool stuff. New book coming up for Horus Heresy as well. Horus Heresy is coming to a close. That's a thing to realize. That storyline is almost over. If you go by the novels, Terra's under siege right now. There's not much left. So
we're just waiting for I'm waiting for the part where Jagatai Khan, honored be his name, is on top of the tank going 200 miles an hour while screaming at the top of his lungs, laughing the palace. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that part.
So there's that. Necromunda got a whole bunch of new novels and figures coming out for it, including these really cool looking cyber dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, I would use the cyber dogs for, we were talking about using them for Imperial Guard. Just use them as in the Imperial Guard. Did they do anything? No, they just look really cool. So,
you mean it doesn't give you an attack or nothing?
No, it just looks
it's
cool.
supposed to.
Although it'd be kind of cool to use them in place of a squid with an orc army. That'd be kind of cool too. That'd be kind of a cool one too.
I love my little squid.
Necromunda. Warcry has a new box set coming out.
No, we have golf balls that are pure ice that drop at high velocity and freezing rain. All right, here's a question for y'all. Helmet, no helmet?
These are your Inceptors.
Yeah.
They're dropping out of orbit.
Well, one of them doesn't have a helmet on.
Well, then if he doesn't have a helmet on,
Well, that's the leader.
Yeah.
Okay, so helmet.
It's easy if you only, in the case of non-wolves, if you always have the helmetless person be the leader, it makes it easy to pick them out of the crowd when you're playing them on the table.
Get it. Helmet it is.
What was I saying? Warcry, new box set coming out. The new box set's going to have a new place to play on it, so I have a bunch of new terrain and 2 new armies in it. So the last 2 armies that they've been talking about are going to be in that box.
Have they finally revealed what the flame scions look like?
I don't know, but I think they're one of the ones in that box set. So I'm kind of excited for that. I still really like Warcry. I really wish we played more. That's a fun game. I haven't played it in a while. I'm going to have to relearn how to play it, honestly. But we had so much fun playing that game. I want to get some more Warcry and get playing it some more. It's just a fun game. Really nice and different for them.
I like playing the armies where I don't have to worry about falling damage.
What do you call it? Blackstone Fortress. Blackstone Fortress is getting its last expansion. Should be the end of the Blackstone Fortress series, meaning probably within about 6 months, those are going to start falling off of their website. So if you've been talking to her about Blackstone Fortress, and we are big board game fans, a 40K board game. The figures can be used in 40K, but it also is just this lovely standalone, replayable, reusable, multiple scenario board game. I've seen it demoed. I've seen a little bit of Let's Plays on it. And it's just a good-looking game. I'm really excited to, over the next couple months, since I don't really have any more figures I need right now, I'm thinking 1 box a month, getting each one of the big boxes over the next couple of months so that we actually have it and start playing it. I think if we do start playing it, we will definitely have to play it on either a stream or record it. Maybe get Commodore and Phoenix or some of the other people over here and play a couple of multiplayer games of it. Since it is a multiplayer cooperative game where you're playing against the game itself, I think we could have a lot of fun with that. So I'm really excited for it. I've really loved a lot of these sculpts. I think some of these sculpts are just gorgeous. There's a small box that has cultists in it that I actually want to get the cultist specifically for her, just so you can paint them up for when you get your what do you want? What's the word I'm looking for? Your Thousand Sons army, because they're just a gorgeous. Hey, Nate, they are just a gorgeous sculpt. I also wouldn't mind getting a box from to paint them up for either my word bearers or my agents of Bile.
You really need to pick one to start with.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, the thing is, I have Bile. That's the beautiful thing about it. I can paint them up as word bearers, and all I have to do to make them agents of Bile is just put Fabius Bile down with them. Hi, now we're agents of Bile. That's the fun thing about it. Without Bile, it's one army. You put Bile in, you completely change what the army is. That's kind of fun. I kind of like that about him.
Yeah, everybody wants to kill them. Oh, you're part of that, monsters.
But at the same time, that's a down the line sort of thing because I am super enamored with my Death Guard right now.
Again.
I love Death Guard, and yeah, I'm back. I have fallen back in love with my Death Guard.
Again.
Yeah.
With your wolves, you'll fall out of love with them, and then you'll fall back in love with them.
You know,
you guys will have some separations because there's going to be
we'll have some separations, which is why I have multiple armies, which is why my orcs are over there going, hey, you need to finish painting us, boss. Yeah, I do. I got to finish building and painting you guys.
Man's a army whore, just to let y'all know.
I resemble that remark.
Yeah, no, you do.
I mean, I'm looking over there. There's 6 armies standing on that one shelf, and they're all mine.
Yep.
Meanwhile, there's one little box of yours army underneath there, and that's it.
That's not even a full army. You told me the kid yourself.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about rumors and confirmed rumors. We already started on this, but we're going to go off about it because it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. All right. So the first thing that has been confirmed is that all Marines, when the new Marine Codex drops, all Marines, that includes Chaos Marines, includes Berserkers, that includes Plague Marines, that includes Tactical Marines, everybody that is a Marine that is at 1 wound will be going up to 2 wounds. And all Terminators will be going from 2 wounds to 3 wounds. What about things you rock?
I don't
know. I certainly couldn't tell you why.
I'm kind of curious. What did I do to warrant such a...
Yeah, I think he's talking about your nonchalant response to my being a whore.
Oh, yeah. You're a total game whore.
Yeah, just wait till I start my towel.
And then
The towel are coming.
And then Mythos never speaks to you again.
Actually, I don't know if I'm going to do towel. I have a little bit of towel to play with.
He's got a kill team.
I have a kill team, and I have a borrowed Tau army. And I don't know how much I want to invest in a Tau army yet, just because I really like the armies I have right now. I actually know what my next army is going to be if I start another army, and it's not going to be 40K.
Is it you finally starting on your
Age of Sigmar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your other Age of Sigmar one?
Yes, my second Age of Sigmar army. Hedonites of Slanesh.
Yep. He finally gave in, folks. Finally gave in.
I've yet to play a game of 40K, but I want the Hedonites. Bolt action, yeah, I do kind of want bolt action. That's nice, though. It's a small army, though. You don't need much for that one. Yeah, like I said, you don't get a soul man bolt action. The biggest problem with bolt action, I know of exactly 2 other players in the area, and one of them is never available to play. So that is the one thing that keeps
Unclad?
No. What do you call it? Hondo.
Yeah.
Hondo plays, but he is never available to play anymore.
No, he's busy.
And Tick plays bolt action.
Huh.
And he's never available. So I'd really want to play bolt action. It'd be nice. It's a nice game. But if I get into World War II game, I will probably end up playing Flames of War, to be honest, because there is a huge, massive, gigantic Flames of War community here in town. And I get to play little bitty tanks. Lots of little bitty tanks.
Did you just... Ow!
You shouldn't be using a knife on your leg.
It's coming from the man who dropped it and tried to catch it.
Hey, my thumb's finally healed.
Time.
Yeah, no, I actually, my next army I'm going to be playing, I want to get a Hedonites of Slaanesh army. Yes, Commodore, we have been talking about that. If nothing else, you and I can play Flames of War. I have a thought on that one, too.
Oh, dear.
There is a store nearby us that has a $50 starter box. It comes with 2 small armies in it. One for one side, one for the other. It's like there's an American army and a German army in there.
Of course there is.
So the thought would be,
Who are you playing?
it's $50 to buy the starter.
Sherman.
Yep. Yep. Besides, my hero is going to jail. Ron Jeremy.
Oh, why is Ron Jeremy going to jail finally?
I mean, finally.
It's a fucking dog.
Yeah, it's dog, but he's a porn star for like 40 years.
And that means what to me?
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing. He wasn't really weird and perverted. He was just he's a well-endowed porn star.
Sorry, I just remembered his ass from Boondock Saints.
Yeah. Well, Ron Jeremy and Boondock Saints.
Yep. They shoot his ass in a porn shop.
Oh. Well, he's going to jail. Sexual assault, like 25 counts.
And surprised?
Okay, so what I was saying about the starter, what I was saying, Commodore, is that you and I talk on Sunday about going to GU and getting a pair of starters, since the starters are only $50 a piece. You buy one, I buy one. Then you and I decide which army we want to play, and we trade so that one of us gets 2 American halves and one of us gets 2 German halves. And there we go. Then we have a decent-sized army.
Hi, Mike.
But I figured you and I would talk about that on Sunday, since we will be seeing you on Sunday. Are you working Saturday morning or Saturday evening?
Saturday evening.
All right. So Saturday morning, we're going to try and actually get up on time and go to the game and play Saturday morning. So let's go back and talk about rumors. Rumors in 40K. Well, I'm good, Mike. And when she's not cutting herself in the leg, she's good.
I poked myself, you jackass. Hi, Mike. How are you doing? I'm doing very well. I feel like I'm being actually quite naughty right now.
Why?
Because I should be drawing.
Not really. You're on the stream.
And that stopped me in the past from doing.
You know what? Working your figures.
I'll fight you.
Oh. Hentai.
Or sexual assault.
So a rumor I'm hearing right now. What is the last stream of rumors I've heard? Actually, Angron.
If I'm not mistaken, that one got shut down.
I know somebody that has seen the sculpt.
What would make no sense to use Angron and not?
I know. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mike. Got some medical stuff going on.
You said you'll live. You'll be fine?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I know of somebody who's actually seen the sculpt for Angron, and it is a 40K sculpt of Angron. So that's real interesting. But I've also heard that a lot of people are saying that Slaanesh is going to be having,
yeah, apparently there's a sculpt of Angron out there that got leaked.
Yeah. No, it hasn't been leaked yet. That's the thing. It hasn't been leaked yet. I know somebody who specifically has seen it. He specifically will not post it. He is a reliable source. He doesn't make shit up. I can say this about him. He has a reliable source. He has seen the sculpt. He will not post it because he has been asked not to, but he's been a lot of my source for a lot of my leaks that have been dead on. So yeah, the rumor is that probably October, November. Well, here's the thing. In October, Space Marines are getting their new codex. Necrons are getting their new codex. When the codex drops, the Marines are getting their upgrades across the board. So the thought is that the Marines and the Chaos Marines are going to be getting their codex drop at the same time.
You know, I'm gonna have to preemptive here for Mythos' salt. How many fucking traitor Primarchs now to Loyalist Primarchs?
That'd be 3-1, 3.5 to 1. If they drop Angron or Fulgrim, be 3.5 to 1. Yeah.
Give me Vulcan!
We're not getting Vulcan.
Look, I'll take the lion. Come on.
The rumors are out there, but nothing is confirmed on a. Yeah.
Abaddon.
Yeah. Abaddon. He got his new figure. It's a really nice figure. He's a half a Primarch.
He's not as good as his daddy, but
he's not bad.
I didn't say he was bad.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's not as good as Daddy, but he's treaders to the wind. Yeah. So the word is that that we're going to see October is going to be a hailstorm of codexes, like 2 a week throughout the month. I don't know how much I believe that. I don't think they're going to try and push codexes that hard, but I do believe see at least one a week. We're gonna see Necrons. We're gonna see Space Marines. Those two have already been confirmed by GW. Because of the way they've worded some other things, it has been very strongly suggested that the Chaos Marines are. Yeah, well, I mean. We have Primaris. They don't. The word is that the Chaos Marines are going to be getting their new codex, which is going to have some massive updates in it to make them comparable again, to actually bring them up in power a bit. One of them is all their guys getting 2 wounds. They will probably end up getting doctrines. I think they're going to get marks since it's a mechanic that already exists in the game. But the rumor is that they're going to get something. We were talking about this. There's a chat with a couple of us that were talking about this. They're going to get something to bring them up. So, so that Chaos Marines will be viable in competitive play again. And again, I'm not talking about casual play. In casual play, a lot of people are having success with a lot of this that people are saying are not viable for competitive play, other than Necrons, who are just terrible right now. We're all hoping for a new Necrons codex that will have the Silent King. Now, that's the thing. When that codex drops, we will probably see the release of the Silent King at the same time, and probably a shitload of other stuff. October is very, very likely going to be a absolute shitstorm of Necron stuff coming down. And there's also the assumption that a lot of the units that will be available separately from Indomitus will become available as standalone multi-pose kits in October. Seeing as that one of the big problems they're having is because they decided to push back and they ended up printing all those extra Indomitus kits, that actually set all of their production back a little bit because they wanted to make sure that they got that done while the dies were still in place. And they printed a shitload, from what I've heard, of the print-to-order Indomitus kits. So there's a lot of those that are going to be flying out. September is probably going to be a lot of news and not a lot of releases, in honesty. This is probably going to be a very light month for releases for 40K. It's probably going to be mainly lots of news, lots of previews, and lots of coming soon. And then October, we're going to hit with an absolute tornado of releases. Now, as far as that Angron goes, like I said, I have a reliable source. He has actually seen the sculpt, and it looks pretty cool. I would hope it gets released this year. If he's already seen the sculpt, I would hope. The problem is they don't usually release big guys in Christmas. We might see him in November.
Slaneshmas.
Yeah. And then what they do is Christmas, as everybody knows, Christmas, they normally have a couple of their specialty, one-shot figures, and then the Christmas Battle Force boxes.
How are you, Caesars?
So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be darn interesting to see how that goes. The next 3 months are going to be very interesting, especially since one of the things that was very noticeable was that there was not a lot for Kill Team, but there was nothing has been shown for Kill Team, but there was at the on the community site a couple weeks back, there was a talk of some new stuff coming for Kill Team. And they mentioned, I guess, in their investor call over the summer, where they were talking about, the struggles they've had because of COVID and whatnot and how things are down. One of the things they were talking about was an expansion coming for Kill Team. With the expansion coming out for Warcry, it's interesting what they're going to probably do. They've already released one terrain set. My assumption is we're going to see a bunch more terrain sets coming down. I'm really, since we saw the one that's basically what came out of the starter set, I think we're going to see a bunch more of those coming down, and I think they're going to be branded so that you can use them for 40K, but they're going to be branded for Kill Team. Just like we saw before. I don't think we're gonna see any more book expansions for Kill Team other than like an annual. But we might see some new terrain sets for them. I don't even think they're gonna box up rebox new units with where they put a unit and a half a set of terrain in there. I don't think we're gonna see those anymore. Honestly, I think Kill Team's on its last legs. It got people interested in 40K. It sold a lot of units. But since they reboxed and re-released the second starter set, we've seen nothing. Nothing at all. So we're going to see an annual in December. I don't know what we're really going to see. I hope we see more. I'd like to see them do some more. But it's hard to say what could they do. At this point, they can't add fast attack units. So what are they going to do? Just another box of Elites 2.0 with a bunch of new Elite units or a bunch of new... I don't see it happening. They could do another box like they did with the Euclidean Star Striders and the Gellerpox Infected. I've heard that set didn't sell very well. With Warcry, they're releasing a new, basically an arena set. So an updated version of Arena or a new type of Arena set would be good to see. Again, I still don't have a lot of hope for that. I think Warcry, I think Kill Team is kind of, I think they're going to kind of limp it along for another year or so, and then they're just going to let it slowly fade, which is a shame. It's a fun game. I think they're going to fill the void, though. They do go through production cycles, with this being the end of Blackstone Fortress. I imagine a year from now, we're going to see the next Warhammer Quest in Warhammer 40K, the replacement for Blackstone Fortress. They've also made it clear that
or Fulgrim's or
well, the whole thing
Vulcan's,
the whole thing it's called Warhammer Quest is the game series.
Yeah.
On the other hand, they've also said that the orcs and the Sisters of the Daughters of Cain they just released for Underworlds or for Beastgrave, but that's part of the Underworld set. That's the last two armies they're releasing. So that game might be coming to a close. Yeah, those Dark Elves for Warcry do look hella sexy. That's one of the two armies in there. There's a bunch of new Dark Elves. They're really cool looking.
Daughters of Cain or just a different?
Kind of. They're really weird looking. No, more like Dark Elves, like the classic Dark Elves, like Drow looking underground elves. They're interesting. Look, I'll show you them later. You know, and that's a very good point. There's two sides to that. Terrain is really easy to build, and there's a lot of really great tutorials out there, and there's a lot of really great ways to build good terrain. I mean, that's my channel's central point. Really, is building cool terrain. We haven't done it a bit, but that is what started this channel, is building terrain, and I build some cool terrain
Sometimes.
I will pinch you.
Baby.
The thing is, not everybody has the tools or the space or the patience to build terrain. And I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely adore Games Workshop's terrain. It's good looking terrain. Is it expensive? Yes. But is it good looking? Yes. Very much so. You are paying for a really piece of high quality terrain, just like you're paying for high quality models. If you have the wherewithal to build terrain, and you can build an entire table's worth of terrain that matches, so you have a good looking table, then absolutely, I would absolutely suggest you build your own. One of the nice things about the GW terrain, I buy one box of it. I spend $75 and I get a box of terrain.
And then he promptly tries to duplicate it.
Well, that is, but that's me. I'm just saying. Let's say I'm. Because you're not gonna let me punch him in the nose. I'm gonna pick on him this way. I need to punch him in the nose. No, you don't. Yeah, you do. No, you don't. He needs to be punched in the nose.
Why would he need to be punched in the
Have you seen that face?
Yes, I
That
have.
is like punchable face.
No, it is not.
I love you, man.
Child abuse. Remember? Child abuse.
So, I'm generic player.
There you go.
I go to the store. I buy my army. I want to build some terrain. I bought the starter set. It's got terrain in it. Great looking terrain. I can paint it very easily. Now I want to put some terrain down. Now here's the thing. Here's the first truth of putting terrain on your table. When you put terrain made by multiple manufacturers on the table, it don't look right. It doesn't look right. When you put terrain made by 3 different methods down on the table, it doesn't look right. One of the biggest, we talked about this before. Mythos and I and Rob from TMP were talking about this. If you put down a table worth of terrain, and Tick got involved in that conversation at one point too.
Okay.
Let's say you put down an entire table of terrain, like a big table's worth, and only some of it is MDF and some of it is other stuff. The MDF stands out. Whether it's good or bad, it stands out because of how accurate and exacting it is. And usually lots of print details, but not lots of terrain surface details. So it sticks out like a sore thumb. Now, if you do an entire table of MDF terrain, and then it looks right. But let's say you do a table where you've got some MDF buildings and you got some of your own personal buildings, and then you've got a couple of pieces of GW terrain on the table, and you look at the table and you kind of go, it doesn't tie together. And that's the
You lost somebody.
MDF. MDF kits, they're basically wood. The laser cut the laser cut kits, where they're the wood that you glue together and then paint. Like my if you look back a little bit, I did those can towers with them. There were MDF kits that wrapped around the soap cans.
I would, only for under very specific circumstances.
And that's the thing.
There's a reason why I'm not allowed to set the tables, by the way.
No, you're perfectly allowed to set the tables, as long as the table looks good. The big thing is that, here's the thing, with 9th edition, terrain is really important. When they say that you should have every 12 square inches, you should have a feature on the table, that means if you're playing a 2,000-point game, you need 15 pieces of terrain on the table. 15 objects worth of terrain on the table to make a suggested table. Minimum. 15 minimum pieces of terrain. Now, if you're cranking on terrain on your own, I mean, I can do that, no problem. I can do that. I've got multiple pieces I can do that with. But 15 pieces of terrain is actually for one cohesive group. That's a lot of terrain. No, I mean, I can do it because that's what I do. It's not about humility. It's about just what I can do. I just think it's confusing because you're just like, yeah, I can do it. Right, but I'm not the average person. You look at the average person, they don't do that. So being able to go buy a kit from Games Workshop that has 5 pieces in it, and then come back next month and buy another kit and has another 4 or 5 pieces in it, and then a month later buy another kit, and now you've bought 3 kits, maybe even 4 kits, and now you've got enough for a 2,000-point table. So, well, here's the thing. Does the scatter terrain that you're putting down, does the scatter terrain have, does it do anything? If it's just scatter terrain to make the board look good, no. We're talking, there should be a minimum of 15 pieces of terrain per board that has a terrain effect. Now, when you say especially you're paying GW prices for terrain, true, GW terrain is expensive. What you're paying for, though, is an aesthetic, and they are high-quality kits. I love GW terrain. I really do. She and I have gone back and forth on this because I keep wanting to pull the trigger and buy a bunch of their Mechanicus terrain because I love the catwalks and the upright pillars and the chemical stacks and all that stuff. But the reality is that we're buying models to build armies. We don't have the money to set aside for building those. So I'm building a homemade kit of Mechanicus type terrain. I'm building a home style, but I'm building a shitload of it because I want to be able to coat a table with it.
Tiny building is effectively buying and when buying any paintings these ceremony, too many times at my local game store I see people playing on unpainted drink.
And that's the thing. The paint, our local GW store actually had a paint party where, because he was rebuilding a table's worth of terrain with the new Stormveld terrain, and he brought in 6 of us on a Saturday. He bought a pizza, and we all grabbed a piece of terrain and painted this stuff.
It was fun.
It was a good day. It was a good day. We built all that terrain. We built it and painted it and did all the good stuff with it. It was wonderful. But that's the thing. Let's be honest. If you're spending all this time to make your army look good, if you're going to play a game, you want your table to look good. I mean, there are a few people that I wouldn't say. If you go to a game store, maybe not. But if you're playing at home, you want your terrain to look good. The official GW shop, they have to have their stuff painted because if they didn't, that would be
Caesar
bad.
says that maybe they're just lazy because half their armies weren't painted too. See, I won't play unless my stuff is painted.
Yeah, you see, and that's. I don't know if that's just something I impressed upon her or she got it when I did it. I won't play an unpainted figure. I understand there are people that do.
They have to be based, rimmed, and ready to go. They have to be table ready before they can be played.
And the thing is, I understand for people that don't, especially when they're learning the game or they're just starting the game. I get that. And I make this point. This is a decision I've made for me, but I have also impressed it upon my wife
and your child
and my child because I firmly believe that if you're not ready to do the investment in the actual figures, then what's the point in learning the game if you're not going to do anything other than play with them? You're not going to get into the part of the hobby that's much more. Yeah, exactly. There's a reason it's called tabletop minimum for a reason.
What's a tabletop minimum? Something I don't do.
They changed those names. Now they call it battle ready.
I don't do battle ready.
No, you do parade ready.
It's not intentional.
I know it's not intentional. You do parade ready plus. Half your figures are. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you to just do regular parade ready.
I'm trying.
No. That's okay. That's okay. We're just trying to get you to do regular parade ready because because you are such a good artist, you go right for I'm doing these competition level pieces. And you don't mean to.
Okay.
But that's just because the kind of artist you are. It's not a bad thing.
We've had this conversation before. where what I consider battle ready to him is parade ready.
And I keep having the same statement with her. It's not what I consider. It's what the game standards are.
And so I make jokes like, well, if that's the case, Lord, I wonder what a parade ready by my standards would look like.
And that's the whole point. Again, battle ready and parade ready are official set standards. They're not, to me, no. What you consider is minimum painted, minimum acceptable painted. And that's the difference. And that's fine. Your minimum acceptable painted is parade ready. Plus, you go far. And that's fine. It's okay that you do that. I'm trying to get you to relax your standards a little bit just so you can spend more time playing.
It's not that I'm even trying to make it look like that. It's just I have an idea that and this is the idea I'm going for.
And that's why it's not a bad thing. And
if you knew Jason Tick, you would understand.
Well, I mean, he's a professional competition quality painter.
Like here's an example of one that I think I underpainted him. I feel like I underpainted him. I feel like I could have done more. But again, we're trying to lower my personal standards.
And the thing is that it's not a down fact that you really like painting your figures to high quality. There's nothing wrong with that.
And see, again, we go back to this where he keeps calling it a high quality paint job, where to me, it's just a paint job. This is not a high quality paint job. I have done high quality paint jobs. This is not it.
That is.
But again, we're going back by what the painter believes, which is why I said, well, let's see. According to standards, this, according to him, is parade ready standard.
Yeah.
To me, this is a table ready standard.
Yeah.
You're not going in there, dog.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to get to him, but I don't think he really understands.
No, I get it. The problem is you're using terms and they're not using what they mean. You're saying this is your minimum standard for painting.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And the thing is, I don't disagree with what you're saying in that, sweetie.
No, what you don't understand what I'm saying.
No, I understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. What I'm saying to you is that what you're doing is you're trying.
Tell this is an old argument.
Yeah, you're trying to apply.
Dude, I have a knife in my hand.
You're trying to apply a different definition to an existing word that has a definition. That's what I'm saying.
That's not what I'm trying to do. That's not what I was trying to do. I have told you this multiple times.
I know that's not what you're trying to do, but it is harder.
See, this is why I say I don't think he gets what I'm trying to say.
I totally get what you're trying to say.
Because what you're reflecting back at me is nothing that I'm trying to say. Old argument. We have this like roughly every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Roughly 3 weeks. Eventually we'll get over it. It's either that or he'll come into a Tuesday and I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Lady D regrettably passed away in her sleep last night. There was a terrible accident involving a dog and a pillow.
Yeah.
The dog pinned her down where she was face down in the pillow and suffocated to death. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Ooh, I wonder if that would have happened. What would never mind him and stuff?
Exactly. That's the whole thing. Orc gets what I'm saying. The lady standards are higher than what the actual standards are. That's all I'm saying. I agree with what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. The thing is, you're looking at these standards going, well, my parade ready. No, you don't have your own parade ready. You have Lady D's ready. There's battle ready, there's parade ready, and then there's Lady D ready. And those are 3 different things. and that's okay.
Go back to my paper.
You do that.
I'm gonna go back to my penny before I try to attack you with this.
Where are we at?
Hell if I know. Oh, it's almost 9.
That's all of that. We've been arguing about this for 20 freaking minutes.
I don't think it's been 20 minutes, but we're damn close.
Yeah, and okay, so back to what I said about terrain. I mean, there are so many easy ways to, if you buy the GW terrain, I mean, if you really don't care, you just want the terrain to be terrain, shit. I mean, there's a subreddit called Poor Hammer, /r Poor Hammer, where, and if anybody didn't have terrain, if you played 40K, you know what I'm talking about. I throw some boxes down on the table. I throw some soup cans and some soda cans and some boxes on the table. And
Just go get the cat.
And look, we've got terrain and some cardboard squares, and we have terrain on the table, and that's fine too. But again, it comes down to if you want your table to look awesome. I know people that don't care; they want the terrain for nothing more than the functionality, and they will buy GW terrain. And these are the people that make me crazy. They will buy GW terrain. They will buy these expensive terrain kits. They will prime them in black, then do a heavy dry brushing in gray, and then a heavy dry brushing in white.
Congratulations, it's stone.
Then they're done. Or even worse, they will take them, they will prime them in black, and I saw somebody do this, and I almost wanted to jump. They were doing this as their demo video on how to paint terrain, and I wanted to reach through the screen and choke them, because they spent the time to build $200, $300 worth of big GW terrain kits. They primed them all black, and then they took a can of brown spray paint and a can of gray spray paint, and they stood about 5 feet away from them and just did this in the air over all the sets.
Well, that would be interesting.
So they had smatterings of brown and gray on them, and then they took a house paintbrush. They took a paintbrush like this. They put some white paint on it, and then they dry brushed the entire set using a household paintbrush. And it's done. I wanted to reach through the screen and choke them until they were dead, and then take that poor terrain and bring it home and repaint it as it deserved. I was like, oh my God. And it wasn't like it was like just some cheapo set. They got some out of print and bought some eBay huge cathedral sets, and they did this with it.
We're still filming.
We're still live. I was like, oh my God. So terrain's important in 9th. If you're going to play a 2,000 point game, have 15 pieces of terrain, and at least half of them should be line of sight blocking in one way or the other. Because if you still leave lanes of sight open, you're just gonna. Whoever goes first is gonna win.
Now I feel bad for considering that for printed stuff to bring into the store. Caesar says that might work, but add rust and weathering, and it could look pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Put some washes on it, just some weathering, do a little bit of detail work. That's fine. But they were literally spray, dry brush, done.
I
I'm
think
like,
D would kill me if I did that, whether if they were painted or not. Something about considering printing.
he'd print them out on his FDM printer. You know what? No. If you printed them on your FDM printer and you did that, I wouldn't. Not if you were doing it to donate it to a store so they just had terrain to play with. And it's just FDM printing. I hate to say it, but you're just printing an FDM kit. These were several $100s of expensive GW terrain kits. And it's like they're kits that I covet and want to build out my GW, my GW table. Because I have a GW table. I have a full set of the GW plates and the cathedral sets. And I just need a little bit more to finish that set out. And it's just, you're killing me.
So, hello, Kaiju. Welcome. We're actually probably going to be getting ready to close up.
Yeah, we're actually...
Caesar, what are we working on right now? I'm actually putting together some
She's putting together,
intercessors.
no, you're putting together inceptors.
Oh, sorry, inceptor.
She's building the No Fear, the marine half of a No Fear box.
Because salamanders.
And she's drilling barrels. I am in the midst of painting my Indominus box.
Please post that video in Discord. I need to see the video that broke you.
Okay.
What video?
The video where the person goes, here's how I paint terrain. And the worst thing about it is, it's literally one of my favorite 40K YouTubers.
Ooh.
Winters.
What's the problem?
You missed like half. We were talking about this last class.
I'll watch the stream later.
How? Oh, good. I got it stuck in a meeting for age. Unfortunately,
I bit the bullet and subscribed to Mortal Realms yesterday. Your night haunt got to me.
Oh, Mortal Realms. Yet another thing we don't get here in the U.S. Oh my God! I would love to be able to get either Mortal Realms or the 40K version here in the States. It's such an annoyance that we're like their biggest single market, and we can't get these things.
Well,
and to answer your question from earlier, Zane, yes, there are a bunch of STLs for very similar to GW things. Honestly, I have some.
we don't print them because resin.
I don't print them because of resin. But honestly, one of the reasons we want to get an FDM printer is to print terrain. Because if I could print FDM terrain, oh my goodness, I'd have terrain for weeks. I would do with that what I did to my printer. Just set it and print. Move it go. You just walk in, the room's just this pile of terrain.
Anyone wonders why I try to stay out of here sometimes. But yeah.
Oh, Tyranids. I love Tyranids. I love the look of them.
I also may have sleepily bid on some Tyranids. Very nice.
Zane, yes. I know what you're saying. Yes. I'm saying yes. I have those.
And yes, Caesar, we do have a 3D printer that is
Currently my Mars is down. I have to disassemble it and do some surgery on it to get it working again. I meant to do it this past week and I just didn't get time to. I was too sucked into my painting.
And dragging my happy ass all over Milwaukee.
Yes. So I have an Elegoo Mars. We got it in April, and between April and about 3 weeks ago, it never stopped printing. I literally had it printing nonstop in all that time.
I want to see the pink Tyranids, man. Team Regima Metal.
Oh, yeah. Metal Carnifex, that's an old model. Yeah, I've actually been looking at eBay trying to find some decent deals on.
But I wanted a peanut.
I've been looking at eBay for some deals, specifically some of the older Wolf kits and
Shush!
needs to go out.
I know.
All right. So,
Yep.
So before we give our final thoughts, we're going to give a shout out to our lovely patrons. So let's start off with first
God damn it, you're gonna make
our Battle Brother tier patrons who made this new camera possible. We start off with our Battle Brother tier.
And we have Insane in the Membrane, Inquisitor Zane.
That he is. And say my name.
Any Wormutt.
Any warm mutt. All right. Now, we have our 4 Battle Leader tier.
That is my secret Hollywood, my secret hottie from down under, Kaiju Shorts.
Yes.
Joe Bookish.
Joe Bookish, correct.
Mythos.
Wolf Brother Mythos.
And
Get off my lawn.
Heinrich Botha.
And last, we have our 4 Warlord level.
That is the myth, the legend, the master modeler, my brother-in-law, his big brother, Alex Drake. That is our Smash Captain coming in from high orbit with the Phalanx, the Commodore. The sweet, beautiful, and oh so talented Fly to the Phoenix. And last but certainly not least, the ultimate Smash Captain, Mr. James Meeks, who's currently on a trek on his way to Reno right now.
There we go. So, final thoughts after saying a big thank you to all of our Patreon members. Final thoughts. Moving forward.
Paint your damn ships, otherwise deer are going to come and take it.
That box was awfully tasty.
I built half of it. You can't touch it.
I don't want your figures.
And coming in, we have Mother looks like she probably tried to murder somebody.
All right. So the big thing, if I can impress nothing else upon you, if you're gonna spend the time to epic your army, epic your terrain.
Zane, I actually still have mine. He built his own.
What?
Custodes. I have my own Custodes still. My strippers are sitting over with they're back behind me.
Yeah, we have 2 separate armies. And eventually we'll be getting you a bunch more of those naked custodians. So, yeah. We say it every episode. We say it every show. But it is actually, I think, the thought for the night. Epic your board. Epic your game. Epic your terrain. Epic your figures. And epic your life. That being said, we love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us. We will have a couple videos up this week. I got to refilm some stuff.
And we have a challenge coming, so
remember.
And if you are not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button.
If you haven't hit that like button, you're killing me here. Hit that like button. I thought y'all liked me. Hit that like button.
Ring the bell because we do like to go live at random times. Also, be prepared this Friday night at 8:30 our time. you will get to see us co-starring with the our brothers True, Mythos and Freak at the Frost and Fist, where a second monthly challenge will be announced.
So we will talk to you then. We will see you then. And until then, keep gaming.
Comment below. Yes. Yes, you can, Kaiju. Mwah. Good night, darlings.